In today's world, cyber attacks and data breaches are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Security isn't just about having strong firewalls or antivirus software, it's also about how you write your code. What if your code could be so unconventional that even the smartest hacker would find it difficult to decipher? In this video, we'll explore how adopting a hacker mindset can help you secure your systems by writing code they can't crack. The power of obscurity, a developer's cookbook. Imagine writing code that looks like it was written in another language, not just technically, but contextually. When hackers target an organization, they expect standard code practices. But what if your organization developed its own cookbook, a unique set of coding practices that only your developers understand? This doesn't replace conventional security measures, it adds an extra layer that confuses attackers: the limits of standard encryption and hashing. Encryption methods like ACE and hashing algorithms like SHA are commonly used, but they aren't foolproof. Hackers can find vulnerabilities, especially if they know which algorithm you're using. For example, SHA transforms data into a fixed-size hash value, but its security depends on how it's implemented. Common attacks like brute force and collision attacks can exploit predictable implementations. To counter this, we need to think beyond the algorithms and focus on making the underlying code difficult to understand. Example: emojis in code, more than just fun. Let's take an example, using emojis in your code. At first glance, it might look like a joke, but using unconventional naming conventions like emojis can add a layer of confusion. Here's a quick example in Dart, Flutter. Void main, declaring an emoji as a constant const pizza equals pizza, using an emoji as a variable nameva party popper equals party time. Creating a class with an emoji nami class cat face, string name, cat face, this dot name, var cat equals cat face, whiskers. This isn't just fun, it's strategic. By using a cookbook with unique conventions, like naming variables with emojis or creating functions with non-standard names, you make your code more challenging for anyone outside your organization to understand. Advanced strategies, combining SHA with unique code practices, custom hashing techniques, you can add layers on top of standard SHA hashing. For example, after generating a SHA-256 hash, you could apply a custom algorithm that only your team understands, adding an extra step attackers aren't expecting: layered encryption with unique patterns. Instead of just using ACE or SHA, combine them with internal encryption methods. Encrypt data using ACE, hash it with SHA-256, and finally apply a unique encoding with symbols or patterns that only your team knows. This approach adds significant complexity. Dynamic keys with unconventional names, generate encryption keys using a mix of standard and unconventional characters, such as emojis or symbols. This adds unpredictability and makes your code harder to crack. Steps to develop your own coding cookbook: create unique naming conventions, use unexpected symbols, abbreviations, or emojis to name your variables, functions, and classes. Ensure your team follows these rules. Document internal jargon and patterns. Create internal documentation unique to your team, acting as a dictionary of terms and patterns exclusive to your codebase. Use unconventional logic, implement standard logic in unconventional ways, like reversing algorithms or adding redundant steps that serve a purpose. Rotate and evolve, regularly update your cookbook. Create feedback loops where developers suggest new practices and review current ones. Conclusion: hackers thrive on predictability. They expect code to follow certain patterns, making it easier to find vulnerabilities. By developing a unique coding cookbook, you can make your code unpredictable and much harder for hackers to crack. In cybersecurity, creativity is one of your most powerful weapons.